The man's mouth was pried open by force, then the doctor clamped a hard mouth gag over it. He pulled out a rubber tube and shoved it straight into the man's mouth. Paul started thrashing in terror, and the doctor gave the tube a hard push, forcing it down to the back of his throat. The other end of the tube was connected to a container filled with eels. The doctor twisted open the valve, and the eels slithered through the tube into Paul's stomach. Paul was horrified, helpless to do anything but watch as they entered his body. Soon his stomach had become an eel paradise. The doctor would then wait quietly for 8 hours, letting the eels mix thoroughly with the patient's stomach acid, until finally they could collect a few drops of yellow liquid. When Paul woke up again, he found himself lying in a hospital bed at a recovery center with his left leg in a cast. His stomach felt awful. The director came over and told him he'd collapsed on the street yesterday. The hospital doctors had saved him, and aside from the leg injury, everything else checked out fine. With that, the director turned and left. When Paul gulped down a glass of water in one go, he noticed a live worm in the cup. He didn't think much of it and just rubbed it between his fingers, completely unaware he'd already fallen into a trap. Later, Paul wandered around the recovery center. It was the strangest place he'd ever seen. Some elderly people were doing water aerobics, others were sitting in massive steam rooms. The weirdest part was that some were actually swimming in water tanks for hours at a time without oxygen masks, moving as smoothly as fish. Paul asked a nurse what was going on. She told him those were health waters, rich in oxygen, so they didn't need to breathe while inside. Paul didn't buy the nurse's explanation. He tracked down the director, who was eating dinner, and told him his health had actually gotten worse after treatment. They hadn't been talking long when Paul suddenly got a nosebleed. He gradually lost consciousness and collapsed to the floor. When Paul came to, the director told him the car accident had caused internal injuries, and he needed the hospital's special therapy to fully recover. At this point, Paul started to suspect something was seriously wrong. Determined to uncover the truth about the hospital, Paul pretended to continue his treatment. Finally, one day, he discovered the hospital's secret. Follow me to watch the next part of this amazing film.